Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell from the description of this video, or the title of this video will be a wrap up of 2nd grade Eureka Math Module 1. Okay? So I'm just pretty much going to give you the whole gist or the whole purpose of Module 1. Okay? So in Module 1, pause right there. Before I get into this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe button if you have not subscribed to my channel already. Hit that little bell next to the subscription button so that you can continue to get these videos. Alright, so in Module 1, the big takeaway, honestly, this is all they've done in Module 1, is add and subtract within 100. That is it. So then the whole module is showing them multiple ways of how to do that. And so this is pretty much just getting them to understand numbers, how to manipulate numbers. That is pretty much it. How you can think about numbers, how you can add a large number and a small number, like 40 plus 5. 40 plus 5 is 45. To us, that seems just, logical. We just know that. But to a 2nd grader, they might not know that 40 plus 5 is 45. Okay? So pretty much this video is just going to break some of those things down. I'm not going to do every single thing that they did in Module 1, but I'm pretty much just going to give you the scope of what took place in Module 1. So, 2 things that I want to talk about first that were discussed in Module 1. Number 1 is to make a 10 and add 10. Okay? So, making a 10. Your 1st grader and 2nd grader, all the way up clearly, need to know how to make 10. Okay? Okay. There are so many kids who do not know how to make combinations of 10. They do not know that 6 plus 4 is 10, 3 plus 7 is 10, 2 plus 8 is 10, 1 plus 9 is 10. They do not know these things. It's just so, for some reason, just difficult to catch on to those fast facts. So please practice with them at home, making combinations of 10. You can do this in a number of fun different ways. Anything. If you just want to drill it, just drill it. But, they have to know those combinations to 10. That's very important. Secondly, adding 10. So that pretty much means add any number to the number 10. Okay? So making those teen numbers is pretty much what add 10 is they're making teen numbers. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Alright, so I'm back. Got a visitor. Someone wanted to be in the video. So here she is. Alright, so again, adding 10 is making those teen numbers. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So adding any one-digit number to the number 10 to make those teen numbers. So this is pretty much what all that looks like. Now, an additional part added on to that is for them to know how to add 2 single-digit numbers, like 9 plus 4. Okay? They have to know, first of all, how to make 10, what combinations make 10, so that they can think about in their head. They should be able to do this at mental math by the end of this year, to be able to make a 10 and add on. Okay, so they're putting these 2 things together to make this here. So here we have 9 plus 4. Okay, we know 9 plus 4 is 13, but they need to be able to decompose, and when I say decompose, that means to break down this number 4 to 1 plus 3. Now, I chose 1 plus 3, and they need to know to choose 1 plus 3 because we're trying to make this 9 into a 10. So if we did 2 plus 2, we can't make this 9 into a 10. This 9 would be 11 then. Okay? So we want them to be able to make a 10 and then add on. So they have to know what combinations of numbers, and that's a lot of thought process also, so that's going to take a second for them to think that through. But they have to know what combinations of numbers can this 4 make to be able to add one of those numbers to the 9 to make a 10. and then add that on to what is left to get 13. So 9 plus 4, they decompose the 4 into 1 plus 3, add 9 plus 1, which makes 10, plus 3 more is 13. So essentially, they're just making a 10. So I will show you that in another example. So let's say that we are, let's do 8 plus 5. Okay? So 8 plus 5 equals blank. Now, I know that I need to make a 10 out of this 8, so I know that 8 plus 2 equals 10, so I'm going to have to start with a 2 here, plus however many more. 2 plus 3 is 5. So here I have 8 plus 2, that makes 10, plus 3 more equals 13. So 8 plus 5 is 13. Okay? So essentially, they got to know how to make a 10, and they have to know how to add on to 10. So that when they're adding these one-digit numbers like this, then they're already knowing how to do it. So again, that's a lot of things for them to think about. But and I know some parents are saying, because I've heard you guys say before, why can't they just learn that 8 plus 5 is 13? They should learn that 8 plus 5 is 13. Teach them that. But it's our job as educators to just give them strategies, because some kids just struggle with learning their facts. Some kids just struggle with learning facts. I don't know how many times have you been to the grocery store and seen a young cashier who cannot give you her change back if that cash register is not working? Right. She didn't learn that. She didn't figure it out. She didn't get it. So here's a strategy to help. So, second thing is add on to any multiple of 10. So your multiples of 10s are the numbers you say when you skip count by 10. So 80 plus 3 is 83. 90 plus 1 is 91. 70 plus 2 is 72. That's all that is. Okay? So they need to be able to do that. Add on to make, add on to any multiple of 10. Okay? So it's not going to say 85 plus 10, but we don't want them to just know that 80 plus 3 is 83. Okay? So quiz your kids. And don't do it in a school-like manner. You know, just do it randomly. If you're at the grocery store, ask them. And you don't have to ask them like 10 questions. Just ask them one. You know, what's 40 plus 5? 45. And keep on grocery shopping. That's the end of that. Okay? If you just ask them one time a day, or 2 times a day, once in the morning and once at night, or once after, they get home from school and once before they go to bed, or whatever the case may be, just quiz them. Don't make it like work, okay? Because when everything becomes like work to the kids, then they don't want to work when they get to school, and then they end up hating school. And that's not what we want. We don't want them to hate school. Some of the other things in this module are decomposing. They have to know how to decompose. I'm going to show you an example. 45 plus 2. So, again, I'm sure you're thinking, well, why can't they just go 46, 47? They should be able to do that. But what if the number is bigger than 2? Okay. The whole point is to get them to manipulate these numbers. So decompose the 45 to 40 plus 5. Okay. Now, 40 plus 5, again, as you see, we're having them to pull out that multiple of 10 and then add on the 2 simple one-digit numbers. 5 plus 2 is 7. So we have 40 plus 7 equals 47. So, very simple. You can do that with any numbers. Let's try 38 plus 6. Okay. So we have 30 plus 8. And then we have 8 plus 6. So here, they could do two things. Now, for our kids who just know that 8 plus 6 is 14, they will say 30 plus 14 equals 44. Okay? For my kids who don't know that, they will have to decompose this 6 into, again, thinking of a 10, 2 plus 4. So they'll do 8 plus 2 is 10. Okay? So then we have 30 plus 10 plus 4. 30 plus 10 is 40. 40 plus 4, 44. Okay? That is, yes, a lot of steps. It is a lot of steps. But again, if you're in the classroom and you just see a kid's brain working this out, thinking this out, and manipulating those numbers and showing you different ways to do this one problem, it is a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing, okay? So I know for us parents who grew up in the late 80s, 90s, and whatnot. For some of us further back, this ain't how you did math. You just learned these facts and you kept it moving. Okay? But this is Common Core, and this is exactly what they want them to be able to do. Okay? They have to know why this works. So the whole point of the math is to show, how do you know that? That's the one question I always ask my students. How do you know? Okay? And me saying how do you know doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. I just want you to explain to me what it is you're doing, because if you can teach it to me, if you can explain it to me, then I know that you know what you're doing. If you can't explain it, then you don't really know what you're doing. Okay? Tape diagram. They also use tape diagrams. So, for example, a word problem might say, Mark had a stick of 9 green Lincoln cubes. His friend gave him 4 yellow Lincoln cubes. How many does he have now? So they would take this and put it into a tape diagram, which is another strategy to help them to be able to see the picture of what it is they're trying to figure out. So they have 9 green Lincoln cubes, and the friend gave them 4 more. Okay. So we have 9 cubes. Your friend gave you 4 more. What is the total? Okay. So here we already have the parts, and we need to find the whole. So here's our part whole equation. So we would take 9 plus 4. We all know that 9 plus 4 is 13. But if they don't know that, then they need to, here we come back with it again. They need to decompose. 1 plus 3. 9 and 1 makes 10. 10 and 3 makes 13. So the answer is 13. Okay? So this problem, if this problem read differently, it might already have the whole as 13. So it might say, Mark has 13 Lincoln cubes. He gave 9 to his friend Sarah. How many does he have left? So here they're going to subtract to find the answer here, which is 4. Okay. So if it gives you the whole already, then you're going to subtract the part to figure out what the other part is. Okay. All right. And the last thing in this module is to be able to subtract single-digit numbers from multiples of 10. Any single-digit number from a multiple of 10. So here, let's say that we are, let's just start here with 10 minus 9. 10 minus 9 equals 1. Okay? Now, they need to know that. You will not believe how many kids just can't figure that out, and it's because they don't have enough practice with counting backwards. Okay? So, have them do that also. If they are in first grade, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, count backwards every day. Just pick any number. Say, count backwards from 20, or count backwards from 13. Give them a random number. I wouldn't even give them a multiple of 10. I would just say from 13. Count backwards from 13. And watch their brain start to think about where the number 13 is and how to go backwards from that. You might hear them go forward first, so you have to redirect, but have them just count backwards. Okay? All right, so 10 minus 9 equals 1. Let's say we have 20 minus 9. Okay? So here we have 20 minus 9. We're going to decompose that to two tens. Okay? 10 minus 9 equals 1 again. So 10, this 10 left over plus this 1 equals 11. Okay? We could keep going on and on with this. 30 minus 9. Decompose that into 20 plus 10. Again, 10 minus 9 equals 1. So 20 plus 1 is 21. So you can keep going on and on with that forever and ever and ever. So pretty much just having them to be able to decompose. That's really all of that module, is them being able to decompose those numbers to make a 10. All of that whole module 1 is about adding a 10, making a 10, adding on to 10, decomposing to make 10s. You know, that's pretty much the whole thing. Okay? So getting them to know those teen numbers, how to make the teen numbers, how to decompose to make a 10, how to actually make combinations of 10, you know, like 2 plus 8, 3 plus 7, 4 plus 6, 9 plus 1, those kind of things. And just using the type diagram strategy, which they will be using that throughout the whole grade level. This year in 2nd grade, next year in 3rd, following year in 4th. So take diagram will stay. That's just going to be a strategy that will be continued to be used in Common Core. Okay? So I hope that this was helpful and summed up everything that you need to know about 2nd grade Module 1 with Eureka Math. And again, please go ahead and hit the like button. Share this video with other parents who are have 2nd grade students. And she's back. Share this video with other parents, and go ahead and hit the comment button. Leave me a comment below. You know, if you have any questions or comments about anything that I said, if you want a little bit more clarity on anything, then leave that all below. Alright guys, I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.